Mitsubishi. My name is Nathan and today we're doing a walk around video on this stunning Ford Falcon XR6 Turbo in this beautiful Victory Gold. Now what we'll do is run through the condition of the vehicle as well as some of the features in this particular model. Now this is the FGX series, meaning it is the last of the Ford Falcon XR6s. You can see how nicely the front end actually presents. It is a very aggressive and a newly designed concept. So have this pretty cool concept grille. Now the grille is there to allow for that large intercooler airflow through to the intercooler, keep that turbo running nice and smoothly. XR6 badging with the 6 being in red, showing that it is a turbo model, not just your standard XR6. Ford badging above that grille. Now the front end bar does present pretty well. Can't really notice any significant damage or marks. There may be some minor stone chips on the bonnet, which we have gone through the effort of touching up for you, so you don't have to worry too much about those. But other than that, the front end condition is in pretty good nick. Now the car does come fitted with the fog lamps down the bottom. And the front parking sensors, which are color matched to the vehicle along the front bar. Headlights are a very stunning design. Now they do come with the 2 daytime running lights through the bottom. They look amazing when the car is actually on. Indicator lamp on the side and the projector globes inside those DRLs. Coming down to the side of the vehicle now, having a look at that first alloy wheel. Got this really cool multi-spoke design, and on the black wheels with that gold, it just sets it beautifully and gives it that very sporty appearance as well. Now the rims are in excellent condition. You can see the spokes do stand out a little bit, so I will try my best to point out any damage, but these rims are completely unmarked. Got the black brake calipers, which look like they've been sprayed behind that as well to contrast with the gold and complement the rims, and lots of tread remaining on those tires. Panning across the side, there is that indicator lamp fitted into the quarter panel there on that vent. It's not a functional vent, just to add a bit of appearance to the car. Side mirrors are color matched in the black. Now, sorry, they are finished off in the black. Now there is a carbon fiber like vinyl put over it. It's not an actual carbon fiber side mirror, but the vinyls there provide that effect to give it that extra sporty look. Now the actual mount for the side mirror does look like it's fading a little bit. Don't know if it's just due to sun exposure, which does happen to black plastics like this, but just so you're aware, there is slight fading on there. And the roof is also finished off in that black carbon fiber like vinyl. Actually presents pretty well. Looks like the job was done pretty neatly. Can't see anything standing out or looking too bad. Could do with a slight wash, but other than that, the car is in pretty good nick. Door handles are color matched to that Victory Gold color, and if I actually open up the door so you can have a look inside the vehicle, there are XR6 floor mats at the bottom and leather seats to the vehicle with the XR6 embroidery on the back of the backrest. Headrests are in good nick as well. Now down the bottom, there are a few marks and creases, a bit of wear and tear, which is what you'd expect from a used vehicle, but a few creases along the edging of the seat here in that grey bit, and a few little marks here and there on the leather, but it's not actually damaged or torn, just a bit of indentation. Down the bottom, there is also that XR6 scuff plate to keep that paintwork looking good, so you're not damaging the paint when you climb in and out of the vehicle. Door card also presents pretty well, looks like it hasn't been kicked around. Now, one thing I would highly recommend is you talk to us about our tinting options. You can see that this isn't tinted. Firstly, it would actually look really good tinted because it will complement the whole black accents on the vehicle, but also we all know the benefits the benefits of actually applying tint, the safety and the protection as well. Opening up the back of the XR6, taking a look in the back seats. Now these seats actually present pretty well. They don't look like they've been used much or sat on, and if they were, they've been looked after pretty well. Back carpet mats are also very clean, no damage on those or stains or marks whatsoever. Now take a look at that second alloy wheel. That rim also presents in excellent condition. There's no damage to that rim at all, and the black gloss is shining beautifully. Coming across to the tailgate of the vehicle, now right on top is that boot spoiler. Gives that slightly sportier look, provides that aerodynamic effect, and the downforce, which you're probably not going to need because you're not dragging the car, but it does look nice and sporty. Does have that brake light mounted into that spoiler, and does have your brake lights and reverse lamps, which actually blend in beautifully with that chrome finish along the boot. Turbo badging in the red and XR6 badging at the back. Reverse camera is also mounted right in the middle, just under the Ford logo, to help back the vehicle up. Now taking a look inside the boot, all the carpet actually presents in very good condition. If I lift this up, down the bottom is your space saver spare wheel, and all your jacking tools are located under that spare wheel. But other than that, a lot of space in this boot, and presents pretty well actually. No real marks of damage in there. And below on that bottom bar is your reverse parking sensors, which are again color matched to the vehicle itself. Coming across the passenger side, fuel filler cap is on this side of the car, which is the safe side. Now it will just pop open. However, when the car is locked, you're not going to be able to open that. Take a look at the third alloy wheel. Generally, this is the side with the most damage, so I'm going to try to be extra picky, but doesn't look like that rim's got any damage on there either. And that tires, lots of tread on them. They seem like pretty sporty Bob Jane tires as well. Again, this side mirror has also been finished off in that carbon fiber vinyl. Does present pretty well, and again, still a slight fading on the black urethane finish, but you could probably rub that with some tire shine or something just to get it to pop a little bit more. And that fourth and final rim, completely unmarked. So it's good to see that the rims present in good condition, because it shows that the driver did drive the car quite carefully and wasn't too erratic with it, didn't park too close to curbs, and just looked after the car pretty well. So what we're going to do now is pop the hood and take a look inside. Taking a look inside the engine bay of the XR6 Turbo. Now you can see how nice this engine bay is. You've got that iconic Barra motor, which is that straight 6 4-litre turbo petrol motor. Now this car does come fitted with a 6-speed automatic gearbox, and just looking around the engine bay, it does look like a little bit of work has actually been done on the vehicle. So you've got that big turbo there, cold air intake setup, obviously going to give you better spooling, more responsive, and it's going to let the engine motor drive a little bit cooler and not overheat, but it's going to make it more efficient. Now this car has a 5-star NCAP rating with 6 airbags, so lots of safety for the passengers in the vehicle. This motor from factory produces 270 kilowatts with 533 newton meters of torque. Now according to our notes, there haven't been any dyno tunes or anything like that done, so I'm going to assume it's putting out that same kind of power output despite it having that cold air intake. This car has a 68-litre capacity fuel tank, does run on unleaded petrol. Now I would recommend using 98 petrol as it is a turbo vehicle, but it does say you can use your 91. Does have a combined fuel consumption of 11.7 litres per 100, or an average fuel distance of about 581 kilometers off a full tank, but that is all dependent on how you drive this vehicle. Taking a look inside the XR6 Turbo now, this car actually presents really well on the inside. All the dash vinyl is in good nick. There's no marks or scratches or damage or, you know, sticky bits when people put those little car or phone mounts. I hate those, but it's good to see that it has been looked after pretty well on the inside. So on the driver's side door, do get your electric power windows, which is just for down on the driver's side. The rest are just your standard power windows. Behind that is a window lock control, and also your side mirror toggles located on that armrest. Now coming over to the right hand stock is your left and right indicator and your headlight controls, and as you can see there is an automatic dusk sensing headlight system. Just leave it in auto and the car's going to turn it on when it needs to. And on the left hand side is your wipers and washers, which are just your standard controls. Now the steering wheel, pretty standard steering wheel, quite chunky in the middle. That is for the horn and the airbag, so a lot of safety, or a large amount of safety I should say, but the steering wheel itself does present pretty well. There's a little bit of wear here and there on the top of that steering wheel, but it is pretty normal. You tend to see it in a lot of used cars, but it's actually not that significant, so good to see that it has been maintained quite well. Now your hood release cap is located down here by my foot, and there is also a few little extra buttons up here near the dash. So it does say auto, that's for your odometer reading, so your trip A, trip B. Menu, which is for the display above that, so that's going to adjust your dimming, your reset trips. You can pretty much do anything with that, and the controls for that on the left hand side. On the steering wheel itself, on the right hand side is your cruise control settings with voice control, and left hand side are your media controls, so mode, volume and seek, with your call button for your Bluetooth connectivity. So coming over to the head unit now, we have probably one of the best head units on the market at the moment, released from factory. So this is Ford's Sync system. It's got 4 quadrants. Top left quadrant is for your mobile connector, your Bluetooth connectivity. The top right quadrant is for your navigation, bottom right is for your climate control, and bottom left is for your entertainment, being your Bluetooth connectivity, for your music, AM, FM radio, things like that. So if you were to select one of these quadrants, go into phone, that'll have any kind of devices that have been connected there previously, which we're going to have to clean that up. And on the top right is your navigation, so pressing that it's going to open up your maps. So you can see we are at Kangan Drive in Berwick, but very clear maps, great for obviously getting around, but very easy to actually maneuver through the system because it's quite an easy to use system. And you can simply access each quadrant by pressing each corner of the screen depending on what you want. So all your climate controls, and then down to your AM, FM radio, digital radio, CD, USB, and Bluetooth, and SD card as well if you wanted to add additional music. Now below that is all the hard buttons for the actual head unit and the climate controls. So climate control located here, driver and passenger settings, fan speeds, modes, etc. CD input, and your hard buttons for your radio. Now essential locking buttons are located below that, stability control and parking sensors. Little storage spot for maybe your phone, and another one at the bottom there with a 12-volt socket located in that little storage. Now if I bring this gear shifter into reverse, you'll see that reverse camera in the car, very clear to see, mounted just above the license plate. So the rear bar is at the bottom. Now with these systems you can actually zoom in, so if you've got a tow bar, you're parking really close to something, this is going to help you kind of tighten that gap. But otherwise it is pretty sufficient and pretty good system. Now if I bring this down into drive and flick it to the left, that is going to actually engage the sports shift system, meaning it's going to kind of manually control the gears yourself, and you can control the gears yourself, add that power when you need to, and being it's an XR6 turbo, you're going to want to use that turbo, so that's going to help you do that. Otherwise just leave it in drive, car's going to do all the work for you. 2 cup holders, a manual handbrake, and lots of room in here, plenty of storage. There is a spot here to keep your phone if you wanted to, an SD card input which is actually for your navigation system, 2 USB slots, and also your line in for your auxiliary if you were still using that. But I'll get the camera person to just pan around the back, show you the condition of the interior. Like I said, back seats are pretty good. There does seem to be maybe just a light scratch along there as well as over here. It's not really damaged the leather, but it is marked the leather, so that those marks are there. A few indentations on the back seats, probably from car seats or something like that. But other than that, it's actually pretty good. There's no real significant damage to the back seat. So what we're going to do now is jump outside and wrap up the video. Thank you much for watching the walk around video on this beautiful 2015 Ford Falcon XR6 Turbo in the FGX series. Now I hope this video gave you a good representation as to the condition of the vehicle. Now being that it is a luxury pack, you do get that leather interior, few little extra accessories in the car, but it does present pretty well for what it is. Obviously it is a used car, so it's not perfect, but it does have some pretty cool kind of work done to it. You've got that cold air intake system. It is a very nice car. Now if you do have any additional questions, the number to dial is 99070555. But just before I go, this car does actually qualify for our premium mechanical protection plan. Now what that's going to offer you is 5 years additional protection on 181 electrical and mechanical components of the vehicle. It does also come with the added benefit of 10 years platinum roadside assistance with coverage up to 200,000 kilometers on your warranty parts. So make sure you ask us about this. There's great value in this. With that, I would highly recommend you talk to us about our glass coat and tint. Now being that it is that Victory Orange, you want to make sure the car, Victory Gold, sorry, you want to make sure that the car holds that color, looks as vibrant and consistent as it does, and it just helps you protect and preserve the actual investment that you're when you purchase this vehicle. Now we will also package that in with some tint for you, and that's going to give you a lifetime warranty on both the paintwork as well as the tinting. So a lot of value in this. Make sure you ask us about these. These are at an additional cost. However, if you're using our in-house finance, we'd love to introduce you to our business managers, Julie and Mario, who show just some minimal diesel effective repayments. Now lastly, but most importantly, make sure you jump onto Google, search up Berwick Mitsubishi, and see what people have to say about us. With over 1,100 reviews and sitting at 4.8 stars, gives you the assurance as a buyer that you're dealing with the right people and the right kind of business for a good quality vehicle. Now as I mentioned before, if you did have any additional questions, the number to dial is 99070555. My name is Nathan. Thank you so much for watching.